and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordes, joined by our superintendent, Mr. Hime. It's here.
Yep, it's crazy, but, to the business side of a school, this is a new year. They celebrate July 1st like New Year's Day. And technically speaking, this is the first day of the 21-22 school year. So we're officially into the new school year.
It's here. I can't believe it. It went by. Where did June go?
Wow. And you think about it, basically it was my first year in charge, first year working with a super leadership team. We accomplished a lot. We're really excited about that. So, let's kind of recap some of the things that happened this year that we're excited about.
Well, it's definitely been a team effort with everything that went on, and so many wonderful things have taken place. One of the things that I'm excited about is seeing the makeover projects, and the one thing that we got to talk about was Eisenhower Middle School's old locker room and it's being revamped. So do you want to share about what's going on?
We took the cafeteria, and it was part of the bond, is to take the cafeteria and convert it into some locker rooms so that the 7th and 8th graders would have a place to dress that are practicing soccer or football or different sports on those new practice fields that are just west of the new school. So that's about complete. But the great thing that people don't realize, we're going to take the south end of that was the cafeteria that's a really good space, and create a central kitchen where a location where we can prepare food, especially like in the summers and for those days off, or where we want those, the weeks off over Christmas and Thanksgiving and fall break, where we want to feed people so we can continue to offer meals across the district and continue that ideal of offering students food 365, every 52 weeks a year.
And what's been great is we received some numbers today that 2,000 meals a day from our summer feed program has been
awesome.
Amazing to see that, and kids are getting fed. And next week, with the holiday week in the transition of summer school sessions,
yes,
our elementaries are closed next week. But if our families still want to go get meals, they can still go to the
high schools.
Correct.
So the high schools will be serving food next week, and the elementaries are closed. And I think it's kind of to give them a break and allow them to shut some things down and reduce some things, that the elementary kitchens will be closed. And so we continue to offer the food. You just have to go to a different location. So if you have a problem with that, again, info at lawtonps.org. We'll probably say that 100 times in this podcast because we're trying to get that information out. So very exciting. And you think about the year, how great for our staff when you look back on it. I mean, we rolled into the 1st of August last year, and we're like, man, what's school going to look like? Are we going to wear a mask? Are we going to do that? And we did a survey, and we had 5,000 parents wanted to go virtual, and we created a virtual school almost overnight. And it's real easy to create it and plug people in. But, man, our staff did a great job just wading through that new way of educating our students, and virtual school is here to stay. It's still an option for our parents, and we're going to continue to offer those options. Again, the most of us believe in most circumstances that face-to-face learning is best for students. But again, there's exceptions to the rule, and so we're going to offer that flexibility for our parents if they need it.
And it's been exciting to see what we've done this summer with summer school, and the fact that our kids that needed that extra support. We've had STEAM camps, STEM opportunities, makerspace, and then that's going to happen into the new school year. Speaking of makerspace, so all of that transitions into our new school year.
Offering those makerspace for that STEM for all of our elementary students, we're really excited about what that does, and is that increase that and stimulate the students in those areas and get more students encouraged to become engineers and get involved in engineering. And so we're really excited with our teachers. One thing that I got an email about, somebody asked me about, is mask. One thing the state of Oklahoma, the legislator did, is they basically took that out of our hands. So the ideal of Lawton Public Schools having a mask mandate next year, the only way that happens is if the health department mandates it. So it's no longer the school board's decision. So certain people have asked me, are we going to mandate masks or are we not? What's the situation? What's the school, when's the school board? Because you have people on both sides of that issue. Well, in a way, I like local control, and it should be the school board's decision. But once the law is passed, there's no reason to debate whether it's a good or bad law. But the bottom line is there will not be a mask mandate at Lawton Public Schools for 21-22. And the only way we will get where we require masks at any level is if the health department pushes that out.
And we continue to partner with them. We continue to communicate, because it will look a little different for those that have been vaccinated regarding our students and as well as our staff in as it relates to quarantines.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing because we talked about, we had Brandy on a couple of weeks ago to talk about how all that worked. And if people follow the sports world, they saw exactly that divide. And again, I'm not being critical of the North Carolina State baseball team, but they're playing in the semifinals. They're one win away from the World Series championship. And because their team wasn't 100% vaccinated, they had to forfeit and leave and go home because they all got quarantined because they had some athletes test positive. Wherever Vanderbilt's team was 100% vaccinated, so they didn't even test them. So there are going to be some differences. I didn't create the differences. I know people are going to want to debate back and forth. Is it right? Is it fair? Is it not? I'm not the one that's creating the rules. I'm just telling you the rules that we play by are going to be a little bit different in 21-22 for those that are vaccinated and those that are not. So if you're going to make that decision, you need to know the difference so that you're preparing your son or your daughter. Are they going to get quarantined? Are they not? Are they going to have to test? How's that going to look? We're just going to follow once again, we're going to partner with the health department. We're going to follow the rules they give us and the professionals do. So we may get into a debate whether these are the right rules or not. But again, the bottom line is we're following their rules.
And they as in the parents, will still have the ability to let their kids go to school with masks. We're not taking that away.
No,
if they want to do it, we recommend it. Especially if they're not vaccinated.
Yes, we'll have those recommendations, but as far as it being a permanent decision.
Mandate.
Mandate. Those who feel more comfortable, I'm sure we'll have some of our adults that still wear a mask because they feel more comfortable, and we'll still have some social distancing will be somewhat, but, we'll be closer to normal than obviously we'll be taking one more step to normalcy when we start school in August.
We've spoken about local partners such as our health department, but we're also partnering with our local law enforcement, with Comanche County, with our Comanche Nation, and also with Lawton PD with the Handle with Care. Do you want to share how that looks?
Yeah, Handle with Care is really exciting because it doesn't divulge confidential information, but if something happens traumatic to a student overnight, over the weekend, and it's good for the school to know that there's some outside influence going on, then they let the school know that, hey, this is a Handle with Care. And it's just a communication. So if a third grader has a brother that gets in trouble or a parent that gets arrested or there's a car wreck in the family, a fire, there's just so many things that can happen that are sometimes, negatives as far as
and traumatic to
a student. This gets the teacher, they won't tell them what the reason is. They'll just let them know this student is a Handle with Care student that day.
And that continues the partnership with our local law enforcement and gives our student a safe place to be.
Right, and the partnership with our local law enforcement and our Lawton Public School police department, we're working together in all aspects, whether it's police, it's code enforcement, and we understand, that they have their job and we have our job, and sometimes we won't agree, but we just got to all get where we're pulling the rope in the same direction to improve opportunities for our students.
And that improvement includes our security cameras, so we can feel, our parents can feel safe about the access that's happening in and out of our buildings.
Yes. We want to secure our buildings where people can't get in. It's very difficult. We have our badges and our scanners, but we're going to have cameras on there where people can see it. And it also help with our local police, our school police officer, because they're going to have access to those cameras so they can see when people are coming into different school buildings. And we don't have the resources to have a police officer at every building, but this is going to have it where they have views of every building and they can see what's going on at every building. So hopefully we have them close to every building.
We heard something great today from our transportation director about new buses. What can you share?
Yeah, I believe we got 9 new buses with air conditioners. So they're going to put them in activity. So the ultimate goal that Mr. Hunt and Jack Hanna, our bus director and our transportation director's executive director, is no activities go out of town. Every activity that leaves town has an air conditioner on the bus. So that's exciting because
especially in September.
Oh, yeah. How about August? And softball will start playing sometimes in July. I think their practices start
already.
The 15th. Yes, so they'll start scrimmaging. So just to have, even if it's a yellow bus, but it'll be air conditioned. So we're very excited about that.
When we talk about the whole child here and our commitment to taking care of them, one of the great things that we heard from the state and that just came out this week was the social worker. Can you share what that looks like for our school?
We got a grant for $124,000. We have to match that, but we're going to hire 4 social workers, 2 elementary, a middle school, and a high school, or and they'll be housed at certain schools, but they'll be working with all of our students. And again, this expands our counselorship, and hopefully The ideal is they'll do things that are for social emotional learning. And again, with our Handle with Care, they can be right in the middle of that. And then we got another grant we're working on called Project Aware with the State Department. But our ultimate goal is to provide more resources and more support for our students across the district. The whole child.
That's right. And it's a really an amazing process to see people coming in and discussing all of this. And we have Hope Rising in our middle school as well, as far as our curriculum.
Yes.
And we have advisory periods next school year.
Yeah, again, the advisory periods are going to get that student another teacher or another adult that's not a teacher that gives them a grade, that doesn't control, where they just have, try to build some more relationships with students so they have people they can talk to and people they feel comfortable sharing and getting help. And it'll be another person to kind of look at their grades and kind of monitor those students. So we're excited about that. Also, it'll continue with our breakfast during the day, which we know was a boon last year, although we had to take it in the rooms. From this year, they'll get to go choose. And I know with Daniel and his team and Sodexo, they've done a great job. They'll offer numerous choices.
For our families that have been looking at our website this week, we have undergone some maintenance and changes, and that is going to take place for the rest of this week. And hopefully by Monday, everything is back up. So if you happen to go on our website, which is
info at it's lawtonps.org. So when you go to lawtonps.org, and that's the thing that I would say from my standpoint is it's always the goal of a website is to limit the clicks for you to find the information. If you're struggling finding something you need, that's what I was going to say. Email info, our info at lawtonps.org and say, hey, I can't find this. And we'll try to find a way. Obviously, everything can't be on the front page.
Correct.
You can't have it where everything clicks, and some things we don't put out there for some information in different ways, but we'll try to make it where if there's enough people looking for it, we want the most important items and the most used items or viewed items on the front page. We're one click away.
And that continues to be worked on. So, yes, please keep us in the loop of things that you're not able to find, and we'll make it more accessible.
Yeah. Again, we try to make the idea of the website is communication. The idea of this podcast, or videocast as we try to call it sometimes, is communication. We want full communication with our parents and our community and even our students and our staff. We want full communication with everybody so that, and we'll continue to work on that.
And before we go, I just want to give a shout out to our student workers that are working with our teams, our adults. Between the partnership of both of them, it's been amazing and phenomenal to watch the growth.
People that watch the news, we have a labor shortage. So one thing we did to try to help with our laborers is hire some students, high school students, to work with our carpenters, our floor layers, our people that are painting in different areas, mowing. We have a lot of things to do. And it kind of becomes, and in some cases, it's becoming an apprenticeship. We got students learning to lay floor. We got students learning to drywall, and we're excited about it. I know of some that may go work in the welding shop to learn to do some welding. So it's really exciting that we're able to do some of those things because it's a big help to us. If you look, our schools are, even with the rain and the weather, making the grass grow a lot, our schools are in pretty good shape as far as mowing and caught up and manicured and edged. So shout out again to our staff. Shout out to the people working with them. We're really excited about that, and hopefully we continue that into the future.
Mr. Hime, as we begin our new school year and end our podcast before the holiday break, what would you like to say?
Hey, hopefully 22, we continue with our idea, and it's one thing I stand by. You don't have to be bad to get better, and we're going to do everything we can to get better. So, share what you need. People let us know what they see we need to get better, and we'll continue to work on it. And we appreciate everybody. It's been a great year.
It went by fast.
It's been awesome.
It was a lot.
I don't say it enough. The school board's been great. New job, new board. Basically, that's my boss is the school board. I'm the one that works for them. I'm the person who's supposed to, they come to for everything they need, and then I find out who to ask the question. Great relationship. They've worked hard. The community, the staff, everybody wants to pull the rope in the right direction. And I think everybody wants better. They want that. They're not saying we're bad, but they want to be better for our students in our community. So we're going to work hard to make that happen.
Many exciting things to come for you guys and for us at the district. Mr. Hime, thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful holiday break.
Yes, everybody enjoy your 4th of July and have a great break. And remember, we'll be closed on Monday. Obviously, that's the holiday. And everything will be back on Tuesday. And so
looking forward to it. And then our next podcast next week. So until then, you guys be well, stay safe, make positive impacts, and we will see you then.
Next week.
Bye-bye.